flipping flipping the switch, if you will. So it's been a crazy year, lots of stuff. It has not been easy. The industry has seen a ton of change, um, but we're persevering. We're pushing through it. We're getting listings, getting sales. We're pacing slightly above the market, which is great. But now is really probably the most important time of the year for 2025. It's a time where, as a company, Kelly, myself, PJ, Patty, we all sit down and we kind of create the goals and what direction we're going for and the initiatives we have for 2025. So it's probably the most important time that we as a company spend to figure out how to do things better, more efficiently, and make this better for everybody. And I always said the two most important things in real estate really are mindset and your goals. So I'm going to turn it over to PJ, and he's going to talk a little bit about goals and how important that is.
Yeah, so as Ryan just said, we are in the stage of doing everything, and we're looking at how to improve the company, what our goals will be as a company next year. We have some new exciting things I think will be in January at our kickoff meeting, which we're going to have an outside speaker coming in and coach to talk about these things and new things to try to make sure that all of you hit your goals. And it's something to really do, and it's something really, really important that you want to set. And folks, market nationwide, we know we've got an inventory issue in Connecticut, and we will, but nationwide, we're anticipating, and they've been talking about the rates to keep creeping down, possibly back into the upper fives. We're anticipating, depending on where you are and where we are in the Northeast, is home prices to still appreciate anywhere from 3 to 7%. So prices are going to go up because we don't have inventory, and unit sales to go up another 3 or 4%. So next year, 2025, should, on paper, as it's going in now, be a better real estate year, and it's tracking to be because we got off to a slow start than this year. So why do you need to set goals? Why should you do that? As a company, we're looking at, again, where can we improve, what we can do, all those different things. So Patty, next slide. So here's why it is really, really important to do this. As you're looking at your goals, people need to really sit down and look in the mirror and say, okay, now a goal can be a million different things. It can be, I want to pay off a credit card. I want to take my family to Disney World. I want to go on a trip to Italy for 10 days. I want to sell one more house than I did last year. We can show you how to do that, because at the end of the day, what you need to do is one more transaction, two more transactions, three more transactions, 10 more transactions. We all, from all the managers to all of us, can sit down with you for 30 minutes, even on Zoom, and go over where your business came from, what you need to do to get 1, 2, 3, 4 times 10, 20 more deals next year. And that'll change your life. It'll hit your goals and what that needs, and then just keep you accountable. And you're going to see more coaching and mentoring that we're going to be rolling out next year. But most people don't make goals. They don't. They don't sit there in goals. A lot of people will look at, say, well, I want to be busier, I want to do this, but they actually don't make a goal. And people who do make goals, over 35% of them, they quit before the end of January. There's that old thing about people who join the gym and they're going to lose weight and they're going to do all this stuff, right? And all of a sudden, like, the gyms get all full on January 1st. And then by January 15th, there's a lot of those people not there. But people who make goals saying, hey, I want to pay off a credit card. I want to pay for a new car. I want to go on a trip. I want to make $100,000. I want to sell 2 more houses, 1 more house than last year, right? You need to set that. They don't do that. And you need to do that and stick with it, because if you want to make $25,000 more, well, that just might mean, based on what sales you had and what your average sale price is, it might just mean 4 more deals. So 1 deal every quarter may change what you want to do. And guess what? 80% of your results come from 20% of your actions. So your results are going to come what you do every day. So that's why when we start by making a goal and we give you a plan, and if you do it every day, you're going to get results out of it. So next slide, Patty. So here's what we would like you to do. And here's the fact. 90% of people perform better if they have a goal to achieve. So Emily, you're on the top of my screen right now, and I see you there. So if Emily said, I want to sell 1,000 houses next year, I would say, wow, that's ambitious. And we would love if you did that. And we'll try to do that with you. But that's going to be really ambitious. Even if she made that goal and she didn't achieve it, she's going to perform better than she would have if she didn't set a goal. Because when you have that goal out there, you're going to achieve more than you always did. And people who actually have a goal produce 43% more sales volume in real estate than people with no goals. So even if you made a crazy goal, again, like I just said, 1,000 home sales this year, wow, you'd be one of the top 15 biggest companies in Connecticut. If even you did that and didn't achieve it, you're going to be more productive. And based on that, your actual sales volume would probably go up by about 43%. And that's what we're here to reach a goal. So next slide, Patty. So what we want everyone to do right now is think of what your goal is. Is it one more deal? Is it $10,000? Is it $20,000? I always wanted to buy a boat, or I always wanted to go to Italy. Well, Italy costs $10,000, so we can show you how to get there with those transactions. Or I need $25,000 to pay for my kids' college, right? Okay, that's going to be X amount. So write down your goal. It doesn't have to be 20 transactions. It can be, but it could be I need 10 grand, 20 grand, Italy, Greece, Disney World, whatever that is, write it down. And we want you to share it. Share it with your manager, share it with one of us. Let's go over it for 15, 20, 30 minutes and then develop a plan. And why is that important? Next slide, Patty. Because here's why. If you write down your goal, you have a 42% chance better of hitting it than just not even writing it down. So when you add up before, think about it. If you do no goal and then you actually have a goal, you have a 43% chance of producing better. And then if you actually write it down, you're going to do 42% even better. Only 1% of people actually write down their goal. That's it. So that's why we're asking you to write it down. If you set a goal, that was step one. And step two is write it down. And now we want you to share it with, again, one of us. And let's figure out how you're going to get there. It literally could be one more deal, which one more deal is talking to a person a day, Monday through Friday. If you wanted to say, I need 5 more deals, PJ, okay, then we're going to sit there and these numbers are true. And Ryan will nod to this because I see him there at the bottom of my screen. If you want 5 more deals, then you need to talk to 5 people a day. That's the numbers have been back from like Tom Hopkins books that I've read. It's all about conversation, and you can do that in many different ways, whether it's, different coaching ways, but whether it's door knocking, cold calling, warm calls, sphere of influence. And remember, 70% of your business comes from sphere of influence. So we want you to set a goal, write it down, and share it with us. And people who do this are 10 times more productive in their business than people who don't. So when you do it, we're going to sit there and say, oh, Emily, she wants to take her family to Greece. Okay, it's going to cost this amount. Well, we're going to go and take everything and say, you need 3 more transactions. So how do we get there? Where your business came from, what you're comfortable doing, where you're successful. And then what we'll do is we will help you get to that goal so you can take that family trip or do whatever it is. So here's what you need to do. Again, set a goal, write it down, share it with one of us, your manager, anybody, and let us sit there and help you create a goal. And this is the time to do it so we can develop a plan so you're ready to start January 1st off and running. So that's the challenge we want everyone to do from now till Thanksgiving. And then we're going to be going to all the offices to do this and give you different activities to do and start off by reaching out to everybody. And we'll give you those kind of activities to do before Thanksgiving to start Thanksgiving cards and reaching out to your sphere of influence, wishing them a happy Thanksgiving, all those different things to do to start propelling you to get ready and create a habit that you won't quit in January 15th. And you'll be off and running to have a really good first quarter and then a really strong 2025. And if that's one more deal, that's one more deal. And if it's 10 more deals, it's 10 more deals. And we're going to help you do that. So everyone, write down your goal. Even if it's you want to buy a canoe, we'll show you how to make that money to buy that canoe. Share it. And the more conversations, as Ryan just said, the more people you talk to, the more conversations, we'll show you how to get there.
Show emotion.
So next slide, Patty. I know we got a lot to go over and we've got some exciting stuff that we're going to be rolling out. I'm going to turn it back over to our mortgage team with Cliff and John.
Thanks, BJ.
Jim couldn't be with us today, so John and I are going to be taking the reins today. I did want to just talk about really quick the market, the rates, where we're going, what we're seeing. Um, Last week, obviously, we had the election. Before that, we had a big inflation report followed by the jobs report, and then the election on Tuesday, and then the Fed meeting on Wednesday, Thursday. So we had we had a lot of volatility, and I think we're going to continue to see a lot of volatility moving forward. Um, you know, Everyone was like, "Oh, election's over, so now the rates are going to start coming down pretty quickly, and the Fed's dropped rates, so the rates are going to come down quickly." It's not the case. So I think what we're going to see is we're going to start seeing the rates gradually coming down. I don't think we're going to see the quick decrease that everyone was hoping for, that everyone told us at the beginning of this year, being an election year, and this and that. But I do think that we will start seeing the rates coming down gradually. The day after the election, the rates actually got worse. So ultimately, I mean, we still see the rates trending in a positive direction. So that's something to keep in mind. I think it's going to set up great for the spring market. So I think we're going to get through this winter as these rates start coming down. In fact, so 2 months ago, the rates were probably the lowest that they've been. And I know we've been talking about this friends and family deal. I had somebody that was pre-approved with another lender. They went under contract, and then their loan officer said,
Hi.
let's just see where the rates go, right? And the rates
Yeah,
just
I'm on a Zoom
kept
now.
getting worse. The rates
And
just
I
kept getting worse, right? So what happened was they sent them to us. I pre-approved them. I got them a little bit closer to where they were initially, and now they're closing next week. So not only were we able to lower the rate from what they were currently getting, but we were able to speed it through and get it closed pretty quickly. I mean, it just happened to be a perfect scenario, so it worked out great. I'm going to turn it over to John. I know John has a couple of recent success stories as well.
Thank you. Thank you. I won't take too much time, guys. Just kind of want to relay the same message and the importance of, aligning yourself with the right people around you, with whether you're picking with your attorney agents, the people that you're, the lenders, obviously us. Because I've been hearing some nightmare stories and getting some deals that came onto my plate where people were dropping the ball and not fully explaining things or properly pre-approving their clients. So obviously, one of the things that we're able to do is I recently had a client, they for some reason their lender dropped the ball, couldn't do it. We needed to close the loan early. I was able to get them pre-approved and clear to close within 14 days technically, and that was with having their appraisal getting done, still waiting on it. So I mean, and then obviously we makes you guys look good. So it's just really important making sure you're aligning yourself properly with your clients. That's the one benefit of having us an in-house lender, right? Is the communication that you're getting with us, and you're truly knowing what's going on. Your client's in good hands. It makes you look good to them as well as future referrals, right? So it's just building constantly that kind of trust and network that you have when you're out there prospecting with new clients. And the biggest referrals or biggest um, return business is going to be referral business, right? So there's a couple of things I want to line. Now, obviously, our pricing is very good. Like Cliff said, we do have the friends and family discount. So we are very aggressive in just being able to pivot and move around and have different options at our hands to get a deal closed. So not much to that, really. Nothing exciting, just as far as make sure you're at least giving us an opportunity to speak with your clients, earn your trust, and provide more value to you guys on that end.
And really quick, I did want to mention some fun stuff that we got coming on. Um, Next week, I'm putting together a pop-up happy hour. I'm open to suggestions. I know it's going to be next Thursday from about 4 to 6. I just don't know where yet. So stay tuned for details. If anyone has any thoughts, questions, suggestions, or anything, please reach out to me, send it in the chat, text me, email me, whatever you guys want. So just keep a block open. We're thinking 4 to 6 next Thursday. And also, I know I'm sure you guys will mention it, but the cookie swap is going to be coming up. We're also going to be doing a happy hour after the cookie swap too. So hopefully a lot of you guys can show up to that as well. That's all I got for today.
Thanks, guys. Thanks so much.
Mhm.
And feel free to reach out to John or Cliff, everybody, or, the other loan officers as well. They're always there to help, with your clients, with your buyers, and they'll call the listing agents as well for you too. All right, I'm going to move to the next slide, and we're going to introduce the folks from House Amp and roll out a new product. Are you guys on it? And Pete?
Yes, Patty, how are you? Thank you.
Good,
Good
how are
morning,
you?
everybody. My name is Pete Grad. I am the sales director with House Amp. I'm also your dedicated account manager. So going forward after today, I'll be your primary point of contact for any direct questions or any assistance you might need. I also have my colleague, Ed, who's our VP of Client Services on the phone. I'm going to hand it off to Ed to run through our platform for you and talk about the benefits that it's going to provide you and your sellers.
Thanks, Pete.
Thanks, Peter. Next slide, Patty. So welcome. We're excited to have you all here. I do have a couple questions I'd like to start out with. And so, Patty, if you can click the mouse. What percent of homes have one or more unresolved issues ranging from plumbing to general disrepair prior to listing? 76%. And if we keep going, we can go through these pretty quick. Of all potential home buyers would prefer to buy a move-in ready home versus one that requires any updates. 80%. 80% of folks have openly said, I want my home to be move-in ready. What percentage of statistics are made up? Well, 73%. But trust me, on those other ones up there. And of course, what percentage of your listings would sell faster and at a higher price if they had work done? Well, only you can answer that question. We don't have that answer for you, but we have a solution for you. And let me do a quick introduction for myself. As Peter said, my name is Ed, although for whatever reason they put Edward on my slide, it's Ed. Just don't call me Eddie. Only mom can do that. And I'm the Vice President of Client Services. I manage 4 departments here at House Amp. Anything that is customer facing and technical questions, I am your guy. I've been with the company for a couple of years. The company itself is only 4 years old, so I'm half as old as the company. But I've been in the industry for 21 years. I spent the last 10 with Realogy. Actually, you all look way too young to remember this, but if anyone remembers Century 21's market leader program, that was me. And then I moved over and I managed the Coldwell Banker version of that called InTouch for a number of years. So I'm pretty familiar with the way the brokerage systems work within your areas. And most important, I moved from Connecticut to Nokomis, Florida back in 2023. And to prove I'm not just saying that to sound cool to you guys, because you're in Connecticut and in Florida, how many people here have had a Bernice Original? Where's my Glastonbury people? If you know, you know, right? So that's the biggest thing I miss. I was born and raised in Manchester, and Shady Glen is you can't find a burger like Shady Glen or a pizza like you can in the Westville section of New Haven. Like down here we don't do that. So next slide. So what is House Amp? House Amp is your home selling loan source, or like we like to say, we're your home sale loan. Okay. What we do, we are not a mortgage broker, we're a technology company. And what we've done is we have figured out a way and worked with some banks to create a system to create a very fast loan process inside of an enclosed ecosystem that enables the agent to introduce their homeowner, have the homeowner take out the money they need to do those small improvements that they have or major improvements. They loan up to $400,000 in some cases. In Connecticut right now, it's up to $250,000. They are working on, the banks that we work with want a BPO for anything over $250,000, but we tend to find most people are pretty happy with between $50,000 and $150,000 to do those repairs. Otherwise, it gets a little out of hand. But one of the great things about it is the funds are utilized for home improvement inside of our system using either our service providers that are already on the platform or service providers that your homeowner or you, the agent, suggest. Next slide. And so a quick overview. It's fast. The homeowners answer a few questions to see their rate and apply. It's a pre-qualification. We want to make sure that that the home has enough equity in it, and we'll show you about that in a minute. There's flexible financing. They can apply it any time before closing. How many times have you've got the deal on the table, an inspection report is done, and they come back and say, we want a huge credit for this inspection report. And usually the homeowner doesn't have the money to fix those problems, so they cave in, they give up a bunch of money. They don't need to do that. You can actually, right up until closing, take out that money, do those repairs, and then get back to the original price. There's no listing price cap, subject to available equity and lender approval. Those are we look at how much equity the person has. We don't care if it's a $100,000 house or a $10 million house or a $100 million house. We'll take care of you. And then the next one, clients receive the invoices, pay their providers, and manage everything right inside of the platform. So there's nothing for the agent to do. You don't have to track and make sure that everything gets paid. You don't have to chase down the service provider to make sure that they're submitting their invoices. We take care of all of that. And you can use either your own service providers, the homeowner service providers, or you can use the service providers on our platform. And the reason we put that is because it's our way of showing you there's no huge markup. HouseAmp does not put a huge markup on what it costs the service provider. There are some services out there that you can use today, for example, Global Bankers Program. Global Bankers Program, when the agent comes out with, or when the service provider provides a quote, the vendor in the middle ups at 16%. We don't do that. So next point. And finally, there's quick access to funds to help solve last minute problems. Literally, we have folks, they'll fill out the application today. They can get approved in some cases same day. Otherwise, if it goes into manual underwriting, it may take an extra day or two. Then you have to wait the 3-day federal right of rescission. And then they have access to be able to start spending that money inside of the platform. Next slide. So here's some examples of the impact. Here's a home that was going to be listed for sale. It needed some new cabinets, which was going to cost about $7,500. It definitely needed, click again. It needed a fix in the middle there, which was the interior paint and miscellaneous for $3,200. Some new appliances were going to cost $4,200. New countertops for $5,100. And this is what it looks like afterwards. The homeowner put $20,000 in. This was a house in Vegas, and they increased the sale price by $100,000. That's not the norm. We all know that. We're not suggesting that's the norm, but that's an example of which one of these houses do you think was easier to sell? The one on top or the one on the bottom? Definitely the one on the bottom. And this is an actual example of this is our pictures. So next slide. So here's some of the typical use cases that people use our products for: painting, staging, decluttering, roofing, movers, furnace and HVAC, anything, new appliances. And go ahead and click again. And then there's some weird ones that we use: buying moving materials, getting temporary storage, major structural repairs, replacing your roof. That's a big deal here in Florida. And one that was really an off-the-wall one, we actually have an agent in Washington State, we are a national company, who pays a neighborhood kid through our platform. He submits his invoices to the homeowner through the platform, and he walks the dogs during open houses. And he just thinks it is the coolest thing, right? But I mean, literally, if there's some reason the person needs money that's going to help sell the home sale loan is the way to go. Another click. So one of the other features of the platform, once you get in, and what we suggest you do, and you can use this tool not only for customers you're working with, but also for farming, is you put in the address into the equity estimator, and it's going to figure out what the estimated value is, the estimated equity in that home, and what the amount is that we believe the lender would approve that homeowner for. Now, this is based solely on the address. You don't put in any information about the homeowner. This is based solely on the address, but this also is not a Zestimate. This is using data through a couple different data providers, one being Quantarium, which many of you have probably heard of. I'm sure the loan guys have heard of, and First American, and a few major ones. Every time you use this product, it costs our company $3.75. So it's not just free information off the internet. It doesn't cost you anything. It's a service that we offer you as part of being a member of the House Amp team. So, but this gives you an idea before you even meet with the customer, where you're able to go in and say, oh, by the way, yeah, we can replace your kitchen cabinets, or maybe we should paint the house before we list it. I can help you get funding for that if you need. Next slide. And then from there, you invite your client. You click a button that says send them to invite, or send them an invite, sorry. And then once you do that, you're able to track some information. The reason we say some information is you aren't privy to where they're at in the loan process. That's a huge violation. We don't do that. But you'll see that it'll tell you that they're in process or they're in the middle. They've created an account. They've started the process. And then afterwards, once they're approved and they've signed their documents, then you'll be able to see that they have some invoices they need to approve, or this is the contractor they're working with, etc. So that you know that it's moving along, so it's not going to hold up that 30 to 60 day listing date that you're shooting for. Next slide. So here's some of the details, and you can kind of click a couple of these. It is an equity-based pay later loan. And when the big thing comes up at the bottom, if you can stop. So one more, I think, or one more. Okay, stop here. So it's an equity-based pay later loan. How many of you have gotten those letters in the mail that say, hey, you could be approved for a credit card up to $100,000? And then you fill it out, they run your credit, and they go, congratulations, you're approved for $300. No, am I just tattling on my terrible credit score? No, but this is not that. This is the amount they are loaned is based solely on the equity in the home, and it can be funding up to $400,000. The bank charges let's just say 2% origination fee with a $200 minimum. So if the person's looking to borrow $3,000, then they pay a little bit more than 2% because there's a $199 minimum fee. So anything up to $10,000 borrowed is $199. There's 60-day no interest period. No interest accrues, no interest sits. And then interest rate is roughly 1% a month. Our average homeowner takes out one of these loans, sells the home, and it is paid off at closing. Right now, our average is 4 months and 7 days. So they end up paying about 2% on the money that they borrowed. It's a 24-month loan with a 6-month draw period. So they can draw money up to 6 months. It very seldom happens because, again, we try and steer them towards doing simple and fast updates. The goal is to get the house on the market, not to get you to move into the house. And the repayment is due upon the sale of the house or at the maturity date, whichever comes first. One caveat, the minimum credit score is 650. One of the things we have found, if someone has a credit score of under 650, they have a difficult time. They're already sometimes in a bad position. And the last thing we want to do is put them into a bigger hole or a rougher position. So the 650 credit score number actually came about as a moral decision more than anything else. And there's a 3.49% fee that's paid by the service providers. We are very open to the service providers, homeowners, and agents about that. We don't hide that. It's the credit card. It's like a credit card fee. If you use a service provider today, if you hire a contractor to paint your house, most of them will say, here's my price. Or if you pay cash, I'll take 4% off, or I'll take 3% off, because they're charging you for their credit card fee. It's just like that. It's 3.49%. And then, of course, there's all that legal mumbo jumbo at the bottom that we send you that, and you can read it. The upside, it helps your clients unlock more value with your recommendations. You can sell faster because, as we know, 80% of folks prefer a home that's move-in ready. You can sell for more money. You list for a higher price and you earn more profits for your client. And they can tap into that equity if they're strapped cash for that move. and also help your client flip their home. It turns their home into an as is, into an as was, helping them earn a profit with your exclusive house stamp program. But what's in it for you? You are the expert. You can offer a new solution to your seller to demonstrate that. You can compete against your competition that's offering the same. Costly repairs after inspection are no longer a threat to a deal. They come back in and say, well, wait a minute, there's a crack in the foundation. No problem, we got that. It needs a new roof. No problem, we got that. Because how many times have we seen those hugely overinflated, shoot for the moon requests after the inspection to cut a huge part of the sale price? And a happier seller means more referrals for you, including your service providers. You can refer your clients to the people you're already using and help them earn more business, and in return, have them refer more customers to you for listings. And it increases the sales price of your listings, which increases your commission. Let's be honest. No one, we all love, I'm an agent, love to sell, love the cash commission checks as well. So next slide. So what's the next step? The next step, and I'm going to have you leave this slide up for a minute or two. The next step is to simply scan this code with your phone and create an account. And when you scan this code, you should see the C21 AllPoints logo, temporary logo, up in the top left-hand corner as we finish creating your section, and you'll be able to access the product today. Once you access the product, you will receive a couple of emails. One of the emails is for an actual real training session. This is kind of our introduction session. And for anyone that wants to go through, we have both a 15-minute and a 30-minute version of our training. Depending on how in-depth you want to go, you can select it. We send you access to that calendar so that you can get up and running and started. But the most important thing is, and we're going to stay on this screen again, but before I leave, the next screen is going to show you our tech support number. And our customer support or tech support number isn't just for you. It's for you, your service providers, your homeowners, and your title companies. And anyone that has a question. We treat your homeowner like they're spending our future inheritance. So we try and help them make sure that they do it for the most cost-effective way and keep the most money in their pocket while still getting the house price raised as high as possible. We do something called a house call, which is help our users sell effectively call, which is after your homeowner signs up for the platform, we, within 3 hours, actually call your customer to say, hi, we are House Amp. We are here for you. We're real people. We're not just an online company. We're real people. What do you need? We'll help you through the program. And so that, again, alleviates a lot of that from you. And I can't tell you the number of agents I have that they'll walk in, they'll explain the program to a customer, and the customer will say, well, I have a couple questions. And they say, no problem, hold on a second. They pick up their phone and they dial the number. And when someone answers, they go, hi, hold on, I got a customer for you. And they hand us the phone, or they hand the customer, the homeowner, the phone, and we talk to the homeowner and help them through. We're not looking for you to be the expert. You sell the house, we'll help get the house home sale ready. So any questions anyone has, I've got a couple minutes left because fortunately I'm from Connecticut. I talk fast. Hopefully the Florida people will keep up with me later today. But if I can answer any questions, I will happily answer them. If not, you can feel free to email support@houseamp.com or peter@houseamp.com or ed@houseamp.com. We like to keep it simple. I think it's Peter.
Yes, it is. You're correct.
Okay.
I just posted my phone number and email address in the chat for everybody. And Ed, we did have another question from Timothy. Is this another option for a home equity loan?
It's it is a micro or mini home equity loan. There's a couple of stipulations. They have to be selling the home. They have to have owned the home for 2 years. So this won't work for flippers. Because again, that was a moral decision by the founders of the company. They were disappointed seeing people use buy now, buy a home dirt cheap, and then sell it a month later for a ton more money after they put a little bit of lipstick on it. So it's kind of like a HELOC, except that it is, in order for the lenders to do the loan as quickly as they do, the money stays inside of the platform, and the payments are made directly from the platform. The money doesn't go to the homeowner directly. There's some ways the homeowner can get a little bit of money. There's some ways the homeowners can get some Home Depot gift cards to buy appliances and that sort of thing. But the other one is most lenders, anyone who's tried, one of the first questions on a HELOC form that I just recently filled out for myself, because I can't get my wife to sell our house, was, are you planning on selling the home? And if you are, most of them don't want to play because they're not going to earn the interest.
Right.
The bank we has understands that it's a quick flip loan in the sense that they're not going to make a bunch of money on it, but where they make their money is in the volume that we're doing. But this business is a nickel and dime business.
Right. Thank you, Ed. And Catherine asked, is there a cost for you guys? Really quick answer, no, absolutely not. There's never a cost to your brokerage, your office, or you as a listing agent. House Amp makes a little bit of money on that service fee that Ed was talking about, that the service providers pay when they submit payment, or when they.
Yeah, the great thing is, not only does it not, and if there's any office managers or brokers on the phone, not only does it not cost you anything, it doesn't go on your P&L. It doesn't go on your company's P&L. It's a lender giving the money. It's a third-party lender. So
right.
it doesn't impact you at all. If the customer doesn't pay back, if they argue, if they decide, no, we're going to take the home off the market, that's between them and the bank. And the bank resolves that. We've only had that happen twice. And in one case, the homeowner had outright just lied. They weren't really selling the house. It was an agent who wanted to improve her house. And the other one was a very upset husband who, when they got finished, his wife looked around the house and said, "It's finally the house I always dreamt it could be. We're not moving." And he actually kept the loan for the whole 24 months because it was cheaper than what it would have cost him to take the money out of his 401k to pay off the loan, or to have done the repairs to start with. One last thing I do want to point out, one of the questions I usually get is, well, what if, how is this different from like a Curbio or Renovation Cells or some of the other companies that are in my area that do this? Well, there's a couple. Number one, we haven't paid a $7 million penalty to the federal government for giving loans that weren't federally backed, because we do use a lending source. But more importantly, as soon as that happened, all of those other lenders, Revive, or all of those other service providers, Revive, Renovation Cells, Curbio, all came to us and signed up on our platform. So if you say, I'm already using Curbio, I want to keep using Curbio, great. You can get you can borrow the money through this platform. Your homeowner can borrow the money through this platform and still use Curbio inside of the platform. They're on our platform.
Thanks, guys. We're going to move forward from here. Great presentation, and agents, please sign up for the training and reach out if you have any questions. This is a great tool for your clients and to get listings sold at top price.
Patty, one more thing really quick, and I will get off the call, I promise. I'll be sending out some information to you guys in the near future with some promotions and contests for you guys to incentivize you to sign up. And if you have any questions, please reach out. That's all. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks. All right, going to turn it over to Kelly now.
Good morning, everyone. A lot of good information. I know it was a lot of information, especially from House Amp, but again, it's a quick and I'll call it easy, user-friendly tool for our sellers, whether they just want to do a quick paint job, a new roof, new appliances. Anyway, check them out. Don't be afraid to use it. It's a great service. Couple of things. I know that we have a bunch of you reaching out saying you're not getting my daily emails. We had some Google mishaps, and we have a new system. If you notice, we're not getting them every day yet, but you should have got one Monday morning and this morning from Agent Services. We also are going to do text alerts. We sent one out, a reminder for this company-wide meeting yesterday, just so you know, when I looked at my phone, it had been marked as spam. So you might want to, if you have a spam filter on your cell phone, You might want to go in, save this phone number, 860-451-4259. That is the number that the company will be sending out different messages, reminders, that kind of thing. Again, we're not going to be overusing this and sending you a million texts every week. But please save that number. It's a great way for us to communicate with you guys besides for just the emails or phone calls.
And on the emails, Cal, it's going into promotion if you're not seeing it. If you have Gmail, go into your promotions tab, click that email off and drag it into your primary, and then it will not go into promotions again. So you just have to go find it in promotions, or if you're on a Mac, maybe in spam or junk. So go in and find it. From this morning, there was one, and then once you do it one time, it should take care of, resolve that. It's coming from C21 AllPoints, not from Kelly's actual email address. Thanks.
Thanks, Patty. Good reminder. Okay, on November 9th, we all received the notice from CTR. I want to make sure and bring it to your attention that you did get this message. I can resend it out to you. I probably will do that a couple of times. It is a antitrust education requirement. Just like last year, it's a quick 6-minute video. It's not the same video as last year. They have some new information. But again, you must complete this by January 15th. It's less than 6 minutes. You just to just watch it and complete the confirmation. You will need your username and password to sign into the CTR site. That's how they track that you have taken that. But again, you might as well just do it today, get it out of the way, because otherwise on January 14th, we'll all be watching this video.
Kelly,
Next,
now,
yes,
I'm going
yes.
to jump in just to say I did watch it, and I want to just bring careful attention to, they talk a little bit about social media. And I know, because I'm in it, there's a couple groups on Facebook that talk about things that are going on in real estate. You got to be very careful that not only do you comment, there's been one group that I got out of because they started to talk about business practices and competition. So you have to be very careful, and I want you to run through it, understand it, and if you put yourself in a situation that you shouldn't be in, like on a Facebook page, get out of it. So take a look at it.
Good stuff. Thanks, Ryan. This is another quick reminder. As we head towards the end of the year, a lot of you strive for our Quality Service Award, which is a great award. You need to make sure that your quality service surveys, are sent out and returned by the customer before January 3rd. All surveys to be included in the 2024 award cycle need to be returned by January 3rd. Again, go to 21 Online, the Productivity Hub. You can get to the Real Satisfied dashboard, and you can view the status of your surveys. You can resend them and all that. So if you have any questions, please reach out to us. We can help you. And again, the criteria quickly for the producer is you must have an 80% return rate on those with a, sorry.
No, 80% sent, 50% return, and then 90% overall score. That's basically what it is.
Yeah, with a minimum of
With a minimum.
return surveys. So
yeah, and when you log in, you can see what you have and the amount where you stand.
All right. Thanks, Patty. I need one more cup of coffee this morning. Yeah. Some upcoming learning opportunities this month. First, I just want to give a shout out to all of you who are in our 21-day challenge. We're right in the middle of that. It's been every day at 10 o'clock for 21 minutes. You guys are doing a great job. We have listings, deals, buyer contracts signed, and a lot of our agents end up on the leaderboard, which is a shout out across the country for all Century 21. So great job for those of you participating in that. But some other opportunities. We have a Lead Gen 21 open houses. Pick the right house to do your open house on, and then do the right things. That's November 12th at 11 a.m. This is a good one, especially seems to be in this current market. Century 21 price positioning and repositioning in today's market. A lot of houses aren't just necessarily flying off the shelf. It's really getting more important to position your property with the right price, and that's November 30th at 3 p.m. On December 3rd, we have Century 21 Winning with Buyers 101, Unleashing the Power of Representation and Compensation. So again, going over, having those conversations, having those buyer consultations and talking about compensation. Jump on that if you're still not comfortable or you want a refresher. On December 11th at 3 p.m., this will be a great learning opportunity. It's a Century 21 end of year economic update with Lawrence Yoon, who's the NAR chief economist. He's a great resource, a great speaker, and he always brings a wealth of information. So you can register for those learning classes on 21 Online on the university. If you need help, just reach out. Next slide. Okay, I've been getting a lot of calls about our company holiday events and parties. So here is the info. Again, this was also in the weekly updates that you get on Friday. But on the shoreline, we are having an event Thursday, December 5th from 3 to 6. That's going to be at the Old Post Tavern in Fairfield. So that's for Brantford, Stratford, and Stamford offices. You guys will be getting details shortly. Hartford County, that's Avon, Enfield, Hebron, Glastonbury, Southington, Wallingford, West Hartford, and Wethersfield offices. Wednesday, December 18th at noon, we're going to be meeting at the Rockledge Country Club in West Hartford. So look out for details in our RSVP on that. Cliff kind of gave a spoiler for this. Now, this is for all offices, all Connecticut offices around the state. Friday, December 20th from 1 to 3, we're going to have a company-wide cookie exchange. Everyone is invited. That's going to be at the Borden building over in Wethersfield. I know we have a lot of events there, so it's going to be a fun time, kind of casual. But again, I think Ryan's going to have some kind of contest on the best cookies or something like that, but details to follow. Please plan to be there. It's going to be a fun time for everyone to get together. Next slide. Referrals.
That's me.
Money, 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 Karen. What's going on?
So I know we're running on short on time, so I'm going to really go quick. So these agents all sent in outbound referrals this month, which is awesome. And I can tell you that Elaine Smith's is under deposit. Joe Chris is going on the market. Mark Lebeski's, I think, is going on, and Stan got 2 in there, and those are going to be going on the market soon. So that's going to be money, 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 money for them. Next slide. So Elaine Smith, like I just said, was pending Antonio Buakar's, and actually I just got notice today that Tony's just closed, so he's getting about $2,000. So it's important when you guys are having these conversations with your people, because that's how we make our money, is by conversation, and it gets nailed into us, but you can help them no matter where they are. We've closed we've gotten about maybe, I think we're up to $70,000 in referrals paid to us and to our agents this year so far. So those are nice checks that are coming in for our agents and nice supplemental income. That's an opportunity for you guys. Anything you need, just give me a call. I just need contact information for your clients, where they're going to, and I'll take care of the rest. All right. And we'll go to the next, because I know we're short on time.
Good stuff, Karen. And thanks for everyone who sent a referral out. And congrats to those of you expecting money. Okay. Welcome to the company. This is everyone who's joined us here in Florida from in the month of October. So we have Judy in Stratford. Welcome. Andy in Southington. Welcome. Katie in Stratford, welcome. We have Jessica joining us in Southington, and Lavasha in Glastonbury, welcome. Jose joining the Perriello team in West Hartford office, and Barbara joining us in Stratford. Welcome, Barbara. And that seemed anticlimactic, but there we are. So a lot of good stuff today, a lot of information. Make sure you put the holiday events on your calendars so that you can be there. Start thinking about what kind of cookies you're going to be baking. Cliff says, where does he signed up to taste 300 cookies from all of the agents? We'll let you know, Cliff. But if you're going to come, you gotta participate. So, I think one of the cookies you can buy that dough already made in the refrigerator section, and you cut out the cookie and you just put it in. So maybe you'll try that one. A lot of good stuff. House Amp, again, if you didn't grab that QR code, we will send it out to all of you again. I signed up while Ed was talking. A lot of good stuff for our clients. It's all about those conversations, goal setting, and reaching out to your sphere. Now is the best time of year to do that. There's so much to talk about, so much to wish them for the end of the year, the holidays, the New Year's. So call us if you need us. We're here for you. Again, goal setting, goal setting, goal setting. Thanks, guys. Have a great day. Bye-bye.